YouTube? Eugene here with a review on the Kaitou Sentai Lupinranger vs Keisatsu Sentai Patranger DX Trigger Machine Splash. Yes, friends, I was going to start off with the box. Right here says Kaitou Sentai Lupinranger vs Keisatsu Patranger. Right here says VS Vehicle Series DX Trigger Machine Splash. Got a nice shot of Trigger Machine Splash itself here. And got a nice shot of Lupin Kaiser Splash Magic. And we got a nice shot of Lupin Red here. So here's the bottom of the box. Here's the side of the box, pretty much the function it does with Lupin Kaiser and the VS Changer. Here's the other side of the box, pretty much the stat on Trigger Machine Splash. And then on the top of the box, got a nice shot of Trigger Machine Splash in the attack mode, and another nice shot of Lupin Kaiser Splash Magic. And so, friends, here is the back of the box, pretty much everything we'll be seeing in this review of Trigger Machine Splash. Alright, friends, here it is, Trigger Machine Splash, and Trigger Machine Splash made its debut in episode 30 of Lupinranger vs Patranger. It was first handed to a lady that Arsene Lupin had fallen in love with. However, in recent days, it got into the hands of a museum robber that forged as an auctioneer. During that episode, there was another power struggle with Lupin Red and Patran Ichigo, but Lupin Red used it to save the city from the flames of the Gangler. Its Keisatsu boost mode is a fire extinguisher. Later on, we see it in its mecha mode. Trigger Machine Splash is much Patranger base, but is on the side of Lupinranger for now. So take a look at Trigger Machine Splash now, and Trigger Machine Splash is a fire truck type trigger machine that is a repaint and remold of Trigger Machine Crane and Trigger Machine Drill. Mainly, this time, red being the main color here, and again we're seeing that nice metallic blue on the windows of the fire truck this time. And you can see on the front here there is the Patranger emblem above the bumper in that nice sparkling gold. And then on the side got 06 in orange with nice detailings. And then right here above the tire you can see it's got some nice silver right here and more metallic blue. And then the back here is your trigger, and the trigger is pretty much, instead of the lime yellow from Trigger Machine Crane, we got the red now, which is a nice touch, and going with that, you know, fire truck, fire department motif or whatever. But anyway, and the ladder is pretty much in a gray that has a hose that does extend out and in. And of course, here is the other side of Trigger Machine Splash. And so anyway, well, on the bottom, here are the rail system here, and stamped by the rails are 060 and 2432617. And of course, we got the connecting port for the mecha. Now, Trigger Machine Splash Splash's attack mode, all you gotta do is hit the trigger, and the ladder will come out like that, and pretty much revealing to us a fire extinguisher. And pretty much this fire extinguisher is stored into its cab pretty much. But anyway, and so it pretty much extends up like this, and you know, it cannot do a 360 turn like most fire truck ladders do. But anyway, this part does slide off, and it's pretty much a fire extinguisher. As you can see, it's got some nice sparkling gold here. All around nice here. This part is pretty much the headpiece to the mecha here, and then there's the face you can see for the mecha. And so anyway, and it pretty much just slides back on here. And so like I said, this is pretty much the attack mode to Trigger Machine Splash. But anyway, I do like this mecha, I really do. It looks really good here. And finally we got a mecha on the side of the Patrangers. Of course, right now this mecha here is on the side of Lupinranger, and hopefully in the future we'll see it go to the Patranger side. So now I went ahead and just throw in Trigger Machine Crane and Trigger Machine Drill along with Trigger Machine Splash just to do a comparison. And you know, like I mentioned earlier, definitely a repaint remold of the two here. You can pretty much see the difference here. They did away, you know, mainly with Trigger Machine Splash, they did away with the hook, this part here, to mainly add in the hose to make it more realistic as a fire truck. And pretty much you can see the difference with the whole color scheme. You know, they painted it red this time, and then, you know, the headpiece, I guess they went ahead and did like a retooling of the Trigger Machine Drill for the headpiece here for the mecha. So again, I love this. I mean, I really, really love this. You know, doing, you know, repaint remolds of certain mechas is really cool. And similar to how I talked about this in the Jackpot Striker review, but same thing here. But and you can pretty much tell the difference between the two and what they kind of did and, between the two. So anyway, now let's go ahead and do the sounds of Trigger Machine Splash in the VS Changer. So here we go. Splash. So let's drop it down. And hit the trigger. And let's hit the trigger again. Well, they wouldn't call it Trigger Machine Splash for nothing, right, friends? Alright, let's go ahead and do the summoning. And hit it again. Alright, hit it. Hit the trigger again. So definitely Patranger base here, since right now it's on the side of Lupinranger, and of course, you know, got the emblem on the front of the Trigger Machine. So go figure. But anyway. Now let's go ahead and do the transformation of Trigger Machine Splash with Lupin Kaiser and the Magic Doll Fighter become Lupin Kaiser Splash Magic. And so let's go and start off by prepping the Trigger Machine Splash. We raise up the ladder like so. Take this piece out because again this is the headpiece for the mecha. We'll close this in and extend the hose out like so. Then the headpiece, we'll have it come out like this. And then we'll open up this piece because it will be the chest plate, and we'll turn around this way and have the head like so. Alright, and then the Magic Doll Fighter, all we gotta do here is crank up the wrecking ball to come out. And so basically we don't need this part here, which is the headpiece here, because we're going to be using the headpiece to this one. So anyway, so now let's go ahead and detach everyone, all three Doll Fighters. So yellow Doll Fighter, blue Doll Fighter, and red Doll Fighter. And so now we're going to go ahead and do the arms first. So we'll put the Trigger Machine Splash where the blue Doll Fighter was, and the Magic Doll Fighter in the place of the yellow Doll Fighter. And the headpiece here will go in place of the red Doll Fighter. And of course, again, I'll show you this real quick, but got the Patranger emblem on the chest plate here, as well as on top of the head for the mecha. So let's go ahead and place it here. And anyway, friends, transformation complete. So here he is, friends, Lupin Kaiser Splash Magic, and I really do like this mode. And I do like that head sculpt he has, you know, kind of looks like a firefighter there, and got the Lupinranger emblem above the eyes, and the eyes in that nice metallic blue and all. Really, really nice. And then that chest plate is much better looking than the chest plate that the Lupin Kaiser Magic had. But very nice. Got the nice sparkling gold here in the front here. Got some nice metallic blue here. And we got the Patranger emblem again, giving us that indication that Trigger Machine Splash is Patranger base, of course. But like I said, he looks really good here. Of course, I had this little gripe here when I did the review on the Trigger Machine Crane review, but you know, I had an issue with the little gap here, and I do have the little issue with the gap here on the Trigger Machine Splash, but it is what it is. Now, one thing I did not do in the Magic Doll Fighter review was this, and I'm going to show you the getting back to the deal with the whole magic hand deal here. The one thing I did not show is this magic hand can come out, and you can put it back in, of course. And let me fix that. So anyway, and so pretty much, you know, the whole deal with the magic hand is pretty much the final attack and so on. But it's really cool how they did this, and you can have him like this, punch it this way, boom, 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 boom. But I do like him. I do like Lupin Kaiser Splash Magic. He looks really, really good here. Pretty much all you're doing here is swapping the arms and the head and put it in place of this mecha here. But of course, you know, we have this deal here. This guy here is Lupinranger base, and this one is Patranger base. So now they're doing like a combo of Lupinranger, Patranger in one mecha here. But I believe one day the Patrangers will get Trigger Machine Splash. So, but anyway. So here you go, friends. Here's one mode, and there's one more mode I want to show you, and that's mainly concerning the Patrangers. So here we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the transformation of Trigger Machine Splash with Pat Kaiser become Pat Kaiser Splash, and this mode has not been introduced yet. So anyway, we'll go ahead and detach Trigger Machine Sango and Trigger Machine Ichigo. So now let's go ahead and put Trigger Machine Splash in place of Trigger Machine Sango, and pretty much the headpiece in place of Trigger Machine Ichigo. And so there you have it, friends. And here he is, and he is called Pat Kaiser Splash. I'm very unsure on what he does because I haven't seen that episode. Of course, that episode hadn't even aired yet of this mode yet, but they pretty much are doing something strictly Patranger based, including all Trigger Machines here. So anyway, he does look good now, added on with Trigger Machine Nego. Like I said, I don't really know anything about this mode, but you can do something like this, and I've seen this mode on rangerwicca.com. So, meaning that we will be seeing this mode in the upcoming future of Lupinranger vs Patranger. So, and hopefully that will mean that the Patrangers will get Trigger Machine Splash in their hands. So. Well, friends, my final thoughts on Trigger Machine Splash, where I pretty much gave you all my input, all journeys view how I feel about this guy and everything. But again, another nice remold and repaint, and using the mode of Trigger Machine Crane and Trigger Machine Drill was a really, really good idea here. And I dig the color scheme they gave Trigger Machine Splash. Looks all around good, and I'm very, very happy we have another Trigger Machine in our possession here. And you know, of course, you know, the emblems on Trigger Machine Splash pretty much give us that impression it is Patranger base here. And I do dig the sounds that come off of the VS Changer with Trigger Machine Splash, as well as the combos he does with Lupin Kaiser, and of course the future mode that's coming up, Pat Kaiser Splash. So, and I cannot wait to see what that mode does in the upcoming future of Lupinranger vs Patranger. So anyway, friends, but do I highly recommend this? Yes, I do. If you are 100% Team Patranger, then go pick this up and everything. And I mean, if you're a Team Lupinranger, then go pick up any dial fighter they have already out for us to collect. So, but anyway, all I can say now, friends, is good luck and happy hunting. And so, friends, that is it for this review. Please check out my blog, follow me on Twitter, and to like my Facebook. And make sure, friends, you hit that bell icon if I want to upload a new video. And of course, my friends, this review on the Kaitou Sentai Lupinranger vs Keisatsu Sentai Patranger DX Trigger Machine Splash. I hope you enjoy. Well, friends, I'm Eugene. I'm signing out, and hope you have a good day. And my friends, I most assuredly see you next time. Bye, friends.